Hi everybody, Dan Ullman, Mike Beer, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Friday, September the 15th, race number 9 at Laurel. Let's take a look at this field. We're traveling 1 1/8 miles on the turf. It's an entry-level allowance race for fillies and mares, and you can download free Formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Let's take this field in post-position order, Mike. The number one's Look Who's Talking, one of several coming out of the All Brandy Stakes on August the 19th. My advice to our friends at home is to take the All Brandy results with many grains of salt, because that was a boggy turf course.
Yeah.
I think the horses that ran well, like Look Who's Talking, might be a bit dressed up.
Yeah.
And the ones that didn't run well, several, they're not as bad as they look.
Yeah, that's probably right. That was a very soft turf course. This horse, you know, she's a pretty tough read. I agree with you. I didn't think she did that much running last time in the All Brandy. You know, her best races on turf so far have come sprinting. On the other hand, the only 3 times they've routed her, they're all stakes races. So those races are probably too tough. This is a better spot for her, but I don't know. I didn't see her do that much last time.
Edgar Prado takes the mount. I think she can work out a tactical trip.
Yeah.
There doesn't appear to be a ton of pace in this race, and I think that she'll be up close, but from a speed figure standpoint, she's probably going to have to run the fastest race of her career. Now, the number 2, De Marquis, was caught in a tough spot in the All Brandy. Not only did this 5-year-old mare catch a soft turf course, but she was doing it in her first start in over a year.
Yeah.
Draw a line through that race.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, the funny thing about that race too is, you know, she chased the pace for a little while in there, and she just got exhausted through the stretch. It was probably perfect thing for her to happen off that long layoff. Going 9 furlongs off that long layoff over that kind of turf course, I don't think that return was as bad as it looks. Her races prior to the layoff, they're all pretty good. They make her a huge contender in this race. If she just needed that race and takes a step forward here, I think she's super dangerous. I'm using this horse.
She earned an 84 Beyer speed figure as a 3-year-old. It's just a shame that she's had obvious physical problems that have relegated her to only 7 trips to the post as a 5-year-old. I think she's going to be aggressively ridden out of there, grab a good forward spot, and she might drift. She's 10-1 on the morning line. First time turf for the number 3 Super Trend, and I look at this pedigree, and it's a nice pedigree, but it's not a turf pedigree.
Yeah, there's not enough turf pedigree for me to get interested in this horse. This horse is going to have to really improve on turf, and I don't see the pedigree for her to do it.
Yes, it's true. The sire, only 6% winners from first-time turf runners. The dam was a multiple graded stakes winner, but she was 0 for 2 on the turf. Super Trend is a full to the true Laurel, who's one of those late-running dirt sprinters. This dam's thrown 5 turf runners. None of them have won. Perhaps a forward factor stretching all the way out from 5.5 to 9. The 4 is Greek Mythology, a horse that won her career debut for a shrewd trainer in Arnaud de la Cour over yielding going, and then last time out, throw it out on the dirt.
Yeah, they left her in to try the main track last time. That didn't work out, but her turf, only turf start in her debut, I guess it was fine. She got a perfect trip in that race, and you know, it was yielding ground. It sort of felt like when I watched it, she was okay with it. A lot of horses behind her didn't do that much running. I don't know, I thought she ran fine. She's lightly raced for a good trainer. There are things to like about her. I would want a pretty big price though if I was going to bet her.
One of the horses she beat in that debut came back to graduate at Suffolk Downs in a maiden special weight with a 74 Beyer speed figure. I like the 5 quick-witted at this distance. She's tried 1 mile and a 16th once before. She was able to rally from off the pace to win. Since then, it's been 5.5 on the turf, way too short. Dirt race.
Yeah.
That's not her game. Last time out at 7.5, I think a little bit too short, but she came with a little bit of a run.
Yeah.
To me, though, she's stepping up in class. I didn't think that was the strongest field last time.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, she was sort of making up ground at the very end of that race. She got over behind horses, sort of the late stages. I think if you watch it, you could take the position that maybe she was going to get there. She got into a little bit of late traffic, but man, she was under a drive for a long way in there. So I sort of felt like that race was maybe just coming together at the end. I still think she has to improve to beat this.
Party Knights shipped up to Saratoga on July the 29th, prompted the pace, paid the price. Was it simply a situation she was overmatched?
Yeah, she was in a pretty tough field that day. And listen, she went up there to race on the pace. No match for those horses got tired. I thought her stateside debut was actually a pretty good performance. She was the only one really making any kind of late run into that race, and she almost got up. I think she's pretty dangerous here.
Is the 7 Caps Vow just a little bit overmatched? Not only is she 1 for 15, but she's failed many times against conditioned claimers. She does not have a lot of speed, is sort of at the mercy of the pace. She needs a lot of things to go her way.
Yeah, that's the thing that really works against her is her running style. I mean, she's just outrun early in all of her races and trying to close ground late. I have a little thing for her, but I like her in those, you know, sort of claiming races that they run her and not in races like this.
Shirley's Curls is another one of those horses that's dirtied up by that run in the All Brandy over soft going last time out. You take that race out of the equation, you've got a horse that got beat a neck, a winner, and then the time before that on turf, a big winner.
Yeah.
She is finding herself, but she's also a runner that needs pace.
Yeah, she's another one of those horses that doesn't have any speed. She'll be trying to come, basically from last in this race and close this field down. You're right that her recent form on turf has really improved. If she can keep that going, I guess she's a contender in here. I want to see her do it against these horses.
Let's see if she gets that pace from the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector's opinion. They have the 9 in the lead on the lead. They have Shirley's Curls, the 8, all the way at the back of the pack. We're expecting a fair pace. As for in the lead, this is a beautifully bred daughter of Tappet, who pulled off a $22 shocker in her career debut at Laurel for Shug McGahee. I thought she worked out a decent trip, but I did like the way she came and got the clear favorite late. And the clear favorite has come back for Tommy Proctor, shipped to the West Coast, won a maiden at Del Mar with a 79, third in an allowance at Del Mar with an 82 buyer. I think this filly is okay. Is it surprising that with this pedigree, Shug's kept her out of New York?
Yeah, I've seen him do this before, though. That's the only thing that doesn't really bother me about it. He's done this with a couple of his pretty good fillies in the past. Started him out Laurel and kept him there, at least for the first few starts of their career. It seems like that's what he's doing with her. I liked her debut. I, in particular, liked the horses that she beat in there. It seemed like it was a pretty good field. To me, she was more game than anything else. That was, for her to get up at the end of that race, I was pretty surprised because the entire stretch run did not look like she was going to get there. But she got there. She got a lot of pedigree. Back to turf with her with Lasix this time. She's probably supposed to be pretty tough.
Yeah, the switch to Lasix could be a big angle as well, as we see from the Shug McGahee formulator fact. Past 4 years, dirt to turf, Lasix on, older runners, 23%, 367 ROI, and the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector has her extremely forward. The 10 and 11 are main track only horses. The 12 Nouvelle Vague, claimed off Chad Brown by the very shrewd Linda Rice. We haven't seen her, though, in a while. I wonder if this mare's going to come back firing, and something tells me she is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she does off the layoff. I always hate to see that. They claimed this horse 5 months ago and then just put her right on the sidelines. You have to feel like that's not a great sign for her. Linda's just so good off the claim. I know she took this horse from Chad Brown, but she is unbelievable off the claim. You have a formulator stat that sort of, narrows it down a little bit as far as, with this specific type of horse. You don't have to get that specific if you don't want to. They can put the formulator stat up there. Linda Rice, just over the past 6 months, with first off the claim on turf, she's 7 for 14. With a 527 ROI. I mean, she's been lights out with these horses. My problem with this horse is I've just never liked her. I don't like any of her races that she's run over here for Chad. We'll see if Linda can get her to improve.
And this more specific fact, though, allays fears somewhat of this layoff.
Yeah.
The 61 to 180 is a big range, but it does show that Linda can claim one,
gets him ready,
back him off, and get him ready. And here's another fact that I didn't put on the screen.
Go.
Linda Rice is known as a New York trainer.
Yes.
She's deadly at Laurel.
Oh, yeah.
Past 4 years overall, 48 for 119. 40% winners, $2.68 return on investment. She's not down for the crab cakes.
Blind.
She wants to win at Laurel and does at a high rate. Let's take a look at our top picks for the race of the day. On Friday, we are both going with Shug. We think the number 9 in the lead's got upside potential. We think she's going to be forwardly placed. We think she's going to get the jump on these horses in the stretch. We don't absolutely love her, but we think she's, in a way, the horse to beat.
I think maybe. I wonder what kind of price she'll be in this race. I don't think I would go too short on her in this race. I picked her on top. To me, it was mostly her and the 2 D Marquis. I didn't really like anybody else.
9, 2, 6, and 12 for Mike, 9, 6, and 12 for me in our Friday DRF.com formulator race of the day. The 9th at Laurel. It has an approximate post time of 5:10 Eastern. Best of luck.